Hello again, everybody. My name is Nuoance, and today I was inspired. See, I've been told before that there are people who played VRChat but gave up because they couldn't find anything to do. And you know what? I agree. But not in the way that you think. See, VRChat is a game with hundreds, probably now more than thousands of different worlds to explore. And if you don't know where to look, things can get awfully confusing and hard to manage. So this will be a continuation of a mini-series I started out a while back ago, where I will go around and talk about things you can do in the game. It won't be updated often, maybe once every few months, but it's also a great opportunity to show off worlds that you like, your friends made, etc. If you have something you want me to check out, make sure to leave the full name in the comments along with the creator's name. I also warn that most of these worlds are not quest friendly. I wish I could do more quest justice, but until I have enough stability to afford one, I can only have my stuff that I use to work with, which is the Index and the Rift. And I don't want to blindly recommend worlds because after a little test with my friend who uses a quest for a short amount of time, I've learned that people just make PC worlds quest friendly by throwing all the fancy stuff away and leaving pretty much an empty world. I don't want to show you all something that looks amazing to me but turns out to be garbage for y'all. Also, I will be avoiding worlds that are already extremely popular, minus a few exceptions that I'll go into later. This video will be in 5 parts: where to find new worlds, things to do, places to see, people to meet, and my conclusions. With that, let's get started. So we'll start out by giving a list of my own personal worlds I think are fun. But what if they aren't your style, or you run out of things to do again? You need a way to see consistent updates and sources on interesting and new worlds in the work. Thankfully, VRChat just recently implemented game jams and themed worlds, where they do the search for you. Game jams are when the community uses similar themes and assets to make a world. For example, art was one, and time trials was another. These are really fun to explore, and usually there are more than 10 to 15 different instances. If you go right at peak time, you might even meet new people to build a friendship. There are also a bunch of quest-friendly things to do, so your VR set doesn't matter. Themed worlds, however, they just take a tag used when the world was uploaded and gives it an extra bracket. These weren't made under the jam or under a time limit, they were just placed because they wanted to. Right now, the theme is exercise, which I've been avoiding for a reason. Secondly, if that's not enough for you, then you need to go to Twitter. Creators are always posting their updates and plans onto their Twitter accounts, and when they go live, the support system between each other makes it super easy to see. You can follow my Twitter, and I'll usually repost stuff about worlds going live as well, but here is a small list of people I recommend to give a follow for a much more content-heavy stuff. Make sure to pause to get them all. One of these tags I do want to touch on just a little bit more, and that's VRCon. I didn't get to cover this event because it completely blindsided me until too late, and even though it's ended, it doesn't mean the Twitter is going to stop posting. If you check them out, you'll see they have a world that is filled with communities for different people. There's another amazing way to try and see if you can find a place to meet new people and make new friends. I've reposted the world link on my Twitter for ease, so go check it out. Next up, we're on things to do, starting with my favorite, murder mystery. When I was just getting into VRChat, I was decently interested in a game known as Danganronpa. If you aren't familiar with the title, Danganronpa is a video game series where 16 students are trapped in some location and the only way to escape is to commit the perfect murder. A game mode came out of this, and one day I swear I'll go into more detail on how this works, but today is not that day. I recommend that if you are looking for a way to both meet new friends and also play an immersive game, check out Murder Mystery. There are a few different groups that host, like the Bloodbath server, which hosts almost every single day, or the Insane Asylum, which hosts weekly on Saturdays. I personally love Insane's games over Bloodbath, but all groups have their ups and downs. The main worlds, Laboratory and Precinct, are no longer in the works, but there are also many different versions that people used and made. I've spoken in a previous video about my personal ailments to my own contribution, but each world has their own themes and rules to go along with it. I will warn you though, some games are heavily roleplayed inspired, and you're expected to stay in character at all times. And I mean, all times. I once got in trouble with another roleplayer because I stood up to stretch and ended up smacking my hand on the fan above me. I started to complain that it hurt, and he instantly replied with, "I don't see a fan anywhere." Like, dude, my hand hurts. It's fine though, cause he ended up being the mastermind and I blew us up together, solidifying the evidence that he was the villain and making everyone else win in the end. I think he was salty for a while, but if you're interested in more information or want to join either group, join my Discord and at me in general chat for more information, and I can help you get started. Please do not message me, at me in my Discord. This is one of the rules I've stated many times. I do not respond to private messages or random friend requests. You need to build a relationship with me personally through my own Discord before we can build a relationship in DMs. Back in the day, honestly, you could find somebody hosting in a public world, but sadly not so much anymore. If you aren't part of a Discord that hosts, it is so much harder to find one now. I do plan to host a murder mystery game for all of you once I hit a certain landmark, so if that's something you're interested in, make sure to subscribe and get your friends to come. There are at the moment no quest-friendly worlds for murder mystery, though I do know that myself and at least one other person has plans to make a quest-friendly version. Let's get into the Pokemon world. When I was shown this world, I cried because it just gave me so much joy. This is my happy place where I go to relax and occasionally drink. If I had to complain about anything, it's just that the world can be very buggy at random. Sometimes you can just not be able to catch Pokemon anymore, or at all. And the weird thing is, it's all luck-based. I've had friends leave the world and immediately come back, and it still doesn't work for them. It can also be very laggy, having a lot to pull with real-time lights and just murders the frames once in a while. I will end up showing up here to relax more than meet new friends, since the world isn't super populated. But regardless, it is my favorite place to lay down with a Zigzagoon and watch the trees. Let's go over the Devouring. To be fair, I haven't mentioned this map in a hot minute, so don't at me. If you didn't know, Devouring is an atmospheric horror map in VRChat that won some pretty impressive rewards. There's debate, though, through some of my circles if it counts as a horror map, so if you're the kind of person who believes that no jump scares means no horror, then this may be a walk in the park for you. To me, though, it takes a lot more skill to make something creepy without the cheap method of throwing a distorted face at you accompanied by a screaming woman. The Devouring's lore is also pretty impressive if you're interested in working to find it. Only 4 people can do this max, so you can't do this with a big group of people, and it can get pretty long, even if you like doing puzzles. I think the current record of speedrun is like 30 minutes or something, but the average playtime for new people is between 4 to 6 hours long, so plan accordingly. This is also not quest-friendly, but there are spin-offs planned in the future by other creators, so maybe we'll see something there. I did have one planned out, but it's been super busy. So a hot minute ago, there was a big deal when a climbing feature was figured out. Some talented individuals, some who totally didn't work on the world we just covered, made their own maps using it. There are a ton of different ones, but I'm going to be going over my favorite, which is the Colossus climbing trial. The reason I like this one so much more than the others is simple. I used to love playing Shadow of the Colossus. This perfectly executed how I thought it'd feel climbing up those beasts. And with the music, him trying to shake you off, and the lava hundreds of feet below you just waiting to see you plummet to your death, it was an amazing experience. Once again, it's not really a place to meet people and make friends, but if you already have friends, I recommend bringing them. Next, I want to bring up Rar's Rides. Warning, this one is not for those who get motion sick easily. Actually, also, the previous one, I should have mentioned that as well, but Anyway, the content creator Rar specializes in these really cool concepts, making a ride instead of a world. Even though we're in VR and we'll probably like to play the game rather than watch it, I find this to be a fun experience that all types of players can enjoy minus the quest. Sorry, friends. The stories are interesting, though not too complex to warrant full attention, which I think is a good thing. One of the worlds has a beautiful scenery to look at, and the dialogue came second for me. If you do get interested in the lore, though, you'll have to wait to see any more rides will be uploaded, since there were only 3, and 2 of them were just previews, and 1 was a holiday special. This world, Doppelganger, got some views on my TikTok, so I better show it here. It's pretty simple. You're just a box with a camera, though. This camera makes an exact replica of your model that copies your movements. It's a little creepy, but apparently y'all love seeing the content about it, so I'll mention it here. It is also not Quest compatible, and if you try to use your camera on it, you kind of look like an idiot. I was suggested Fluid Flow Studio by a kind friend, and I will say it's pretty interesting to look at. You can make art using your avatars, moving your body for the colors to blend together and make fantastic art. Honestly, I'm thinking about getting some of this printed out as art for my home and homeworlds. Just a cute little idea to immortalize your friends. Not much to do there, but, still an idea. Let's Draw a Hideaway, unlike all the others, is actually quest-friendly and a really cute and fresh take on the presentation room back in the day. You simply have an empty room, ton of pins, and all the color options you want to draw literally anything. The world has an ease of movement that allows you to float around, so gravity restrictions aren't a thing either. Next, we have Back to the Future. This is another ride-based world, and I'm bringing it up purely out of sentimental factors. I used to ride this all the time when we went to the parks with my family as a kid, and I was sad to see it go. I really hope we get to see more of this, where people are recreating old rides that no longer exist in our world. That's the main reason I bring this one up, because I want to get it to gain more exposure so that more people find interest in recreating these. VR is an amazing medium to bring back the nuances of the past, especially when it comes to rides or roller coasters that were shut down for any reason. Alright, so here are some of the exceptions. JAR isn't really a world, but they make an accumulation of beautiful worlds. I don't think I should need to cover it too extensively since JAR's worlds are always at the top of the world menu list, but hey, maybe you didn't know their name. JAR recreates fun minigame styled maps that are usually heavily populated. This is my #1 way to make friends randomly compared to meeting friends at a party or an event. It sometimes takes a few games to warm up to the players, but I've met a ton of cool people through these maps. They've created Murder 1 through 4, Among Us, Kitchen Cooks, Magic Freeze Tag, and so many more. Also, a large chunk of their maps are quest friendly, so anyone can play. What would this list be without a little party? Drinking Night is one of the most popular drinking worlds in VRChat, and currently the unreleased map known as Trap Haven made by Rackshaw is going to completely blow that out of the water. I can't go into too much detail, since Rackshaw is keeping it private for a reason, but if you're a non-quest user and want to play some drinking games with friends or strangers alike, this will be the place to go. Plus, look forward for when Trap Haven drops because she, with the help of Firetick and Risky Kin, have spent months on it and the quality is fantastic. These worlds are focused more on the party scene and you'll be able to meet a few people here and there to hang out with. Just a reminder, since alcohol is involved, you should not be participating if you are a minor. And for those who are, drink responsibly. So the last worlds are movie worlds, and these are kind of hard to bring up, so we're just gonna lightly gloss over it. There are movie worlds all over the place and tons of films to choose from. If you love to just relax and watch movies with friends, just look up a movie and search through all the different options. Also, it's a great place to watch VRChat made movies, which I covered in a previous video. So next up, I'm just going to bring up a few different places that I like to just relax in, or heard of that are popular hangout spots. These are more based on talking to people and or exploring rather than something to do. For ASMR beating, I have no idea where I found this world. I don't even know if I should be posting it here, but it's just one of those things you have to show your friends at least once. It's silly, chaotic, and confusing. Lottie Pro makes quality recreations of Undertale worlds and has been branching out to other games as well. I've spent countless hours on their worlds and recommend most of them to anyone who isn't even a fan of Undertale. They're simple, pretty, and relaxing. I'll be honest though, for New Vision, I forgot what this world even was when I looked at my list. It scared me the first time I was there, but don't worry y'all, there isn't any jump scares on the map. It's just a foggy, quiet place to explore. Its peaceful, serene day-night cycle also just makes it a beautiful scene to just think about yourself or have a serious conversation. Another hangout world, there are probably 1,000 home-style worlds just like it, but I was suggested Rainy Skyrise because it feels most like a house compared to all of them. Very modern, easy to load, and quest compatible, goes for a fun time just to chill out with your friends. Last but certainly not least, we have Olympia, a world I found thanks to the power of Twitter and Lucifer Imstar. This world is massive and a beauty to boot. It's optimized, not quest friendly once again though. This is a fantastic place just to get lost in and explore with your friends, making your own fun as you go. I haven't gotten to fully explore yet, but I am super stoked to go tonight after the recording. Now I want to talk about what I do to meet new friends. Naturally, the best way is to join a populated world and just kind of roll the dice, but what if you don't want to do that? I know I sometimes hate it because you'll find a lot less than optimal people around, and that could ruin your chances making a new friend. Well, let's talk about the power of Reddit and Discord. See, VRChat has both a Reddit and a Discord, and I've covered before that the Discord has a place to meet loads of people with similar interests. Reddit is the same, where players can promote their own groups, videos, and content for you to see and do. Unlike Twitter, which is luck of the draw, Reddit is always easy to see everything VRChat related in one spot, and choose from there. Once you find a friend group to frequent, you'll build those friendships, which is the core part of enjoying the game. VRChat is a social game through and through, and you won't last long playing it by yourself. Remember to use basic internet etiquette and safety not to get scammed or conned, and keep your chin up if the first few attempts come out in failure. When I do try to make friends in public, usually I'll end up in a murder world, having the time of my life. I've met some really great people there, and I highly recommend you give it a try. If an instance doesn't feel like it's matching your vibe, just switch. There's a ton to choose from. Finally, I would like to end this video with my own personal experiences. See, I am shy sometimes, and I can be a little timid depending on where I am. I understand that meeting new people can be scary, which is why I speak so highly about meeting someone during a game like Murder or Among Us. It's natural, and instead of focusing on talking about small things, you're bonding over gameplay. It's how many friendships are forged over the internet, honestly, through gameplay alone. And also, I know that some days it just feels impossible to find a new friend, but that's anywhere in life. Almost every single friend you've made online was only the byproduct of luck. We take a chance going somewhere new, or trying something different, but also the memories you make during that time can become precious. This is why I made that list, because with all the content that's out there, you can feel stuck on what to choose that may be interesting. I hope that maybe this list gets you a bit of variety if you're stuck on where to go. And if you have any place you'd recommend for me to cover, leave it below in the comments for a future video. I also want to take this time to apologize to all of the Quest users because I cannot properly show you things that you can do. At the moment, I am saving up to try and get a Quest 2 so I can have a real-time experience seeing what all of you see and understanding in a deeper level what you all need. I talked about earlier when I did a TikTok with a friend, he had a Quest for a couple weeks, and when we went to worlds that I thought looked beautiful, they looked horrible to him. And it just really opened my eyes on an issue that I didn't even realize existed. So if you do want to support me and try to help me get closer to getting a Quest and being able to cover Quest more accurately, please subscribe. Support me so I can support you and find places for you to explore and bring up topics that maybe PC VR users don't realize is an issue. Thank you again for all your support, everyone, and as usual, drink your water, eat your broccoli, and have a fantastic day. See y'all in the next video.